Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of the old. I remember I saw this joke about this guy that like he's stressed out. He leaves the city and he goes and he joins a monastery, and he sits with Buddhists all day. And after like a couple months, he thinks he's found peace and mastery, and he's sitting there calm.
Sounds familiar.
And then some tourists walk by and it's like, "Hey, dude, your head's shaved. You look like an idiot." And he turns to him and goes, "Go fuck yourself." And he's like, "I got to go back to studying," right? Like. When you're alone in a monastery with Buddhists,
right,
it's probably easier.
It's a whole new
but
ballgame. Mm-hmm.
When you're in the line of fire, it's hard. So
right.
that's what I'm saying. I talk about this when I get out there, I'm still ranting and raving. But
that's where we came up with the tagline for the podcast: a conscious journey to enlightenment. Because learning to gain that consciousness amid the crowds and the noise and the interference, that's what's challenging. It's always challenging, but it's particularly challenging when you have all that interference. And really learning to build a self-awareness that is so keen that everything starts on the inside and goes from the inside out. Because as you can see, when you're in the other realm, everything on the outside is the noise, and you're so caught up in the noise and the people and what's happening around you that you disappears. But when you start on the inside of you, everything flows this way. Otherwise, it's all coming this way.
Right.
And that's where it becomes overwhelming.
It feels like life's coming at you.
Absolutely, it does. Absolutely.
Everybody would. I bet you 9 out of 10 people would tell you that their experience with life is life coming at you. I don't know about 9 out of 10. I'm making up a number.
I would say the number is high.
Right.
I think that I probably hear that more often than not. So I think you're correct on that. I think that people do see life happening to them rather than them creating life. And we do create life. And just like Groundhog's Day, tomorrow is going to be a lot like today, only because I'm not ready to perceive tomorrow as something completely different. Too scary. Change is way too scary to imagine that I don't have a handle on the predictability of life. So I create predictability, and I create it so that I can feel comfortable.